Yo, so I finished What If Season 2. I actually finished it many days ago before the year turned over, but this is the first video that I'm recording about content in 2024. Happy New Year. And we're going to go through and do the wins and losses for Season 2. It's 9 episodes, and I'm just going to give you a little spoiler. It's mostly wins, y'all. Episode 1 is What If Nebula joined the Nova Corps. That was a very noir episode. I liked it. The tone was way darker than what you normally get from these little Marvel shows. And so, yes, high marks, big win, great episode. The second episode is What If Peter Quill actually linked up with Ego? And it's like, that episode is also a win. Not so much for the main story, but for the other stuff that happens in the story. You get Goliath in the story. You get Black Panther, not T'Challa, but T'Chaka. And it's like, hey, I really like that. That storyline came together quite well. The Avengers of the 80s, good stuff. Episode 3 was What If Happy Hogan Saved Christmas? Did not like that episode. That's an L for me. It didn't click for me. I didn't like it much. Episode 4 was What If Iron Man Met the Grandmaster? And that episode is a big W. I really enjoyed it. I liked the banter in that episode. It really felt like 2008 Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark. Just the quips and the real fast with it. It was really good. And it was persistent throughout the episode. So I enjoyed it. Episode 5 is What If Steve was survived inside the Hydra Stomper and like the Captain Carter episode. I really like that one. It was very familiar and very reminiscent of Captain America Winter Soldier, but also Black Widow, just way better. It was a really good episode. I like the way it ended, kind of laying the groundwork for the end of the season, but then at the same time it stood on its own with the story of Steve and Peggy just pining over Steve the same way Steve pined over Peggy. So it was cool. I liked it. Came together quite well. And some of the fight scenes in that one really were memorable. So yes, big win for that episode. Episode 6 is the controversial one, the Kahori episode with the Native American tribe getting powers from the Tesseract. And I would say massive win. Really well done. And the thing that's impressive most to me about that episode is that they chose to go full immersiveness. Like, let's not spare any expense. We're going to speak in Native American language. The Spanish conquistadors are going to speak Spanish the entire time. Get yourself ready to read some subtitles. I was very happy with that. You didn't cut corners and make people speak English in a place where they wouldn't or a time where they wouldn't. I enjoyed it. I thought, hey, perfect, great episode. Episode 7 was What If Hela founded the Ten Rings or joined the Ten Rings? I don't remember the exact title, but I do know that it was a win. Now this one had potential to fail because the Hela character is a beloved character. She really did a lot for, I think it was what, Thor 3? I want to say it was. I enjoyed the Hela character in the live action MCU, and so to see her show back up but portray her in a different way, it was like, oh, you could really mess this up. But I think they really did it well. I don't even feel like, even though it was a short episode, it's like 30 minutes, it doesn't feel like they made her redemption arc cheap. It feels like it really happened. You know what I mean? Like it really occurred, and all these steps are slightly believable for this character had she been shown the mercies that she was shown throughout the episode. So I liked it. It translated quite well, even though it had potential to fail. Episode 8 is Avengers in 1602. That is a tie for me. I didn't care for all the characters and their depictions, mainly, Happy Hogan being present, doing what he's doing. But ultimately, I do like the way that this episode moved the story along in a way that, okay, now we are primed and prepared for a very big finale. In episode 9 was What If Strain Supreme intervened? Big W, great finale, because you do what you can't do with live action. You take all kinds of different elements. You get characters from all across Marvel Comics and anywhere they may have ever appeared before, and you just drop them in. You have an animation funhouse, just all kinds of stuff happening in all the different parts of your screen. It was very impressive. I thought that it helped wrap up the season in a way and show you as an audience member, like, hey, we really can do whatever we want. I know going into the season, one of my bigger concerns is like, how are they going to do what they did in season 1? Because season 1 was really impressive to me. The idea of taking a bunch of what if one-off stories and finding a way to tie them all back together at the end, and also including, or maybe not including, the Watcher. I was like, what are you gonna do to make that happen? And they did it here perfectly, giving him a role in the background, and people can hear him and people can see him, but he's not necessarily participating like he did the first go around. And that was cool. I didn't know if they could find a way to make a show based on this character who watches work, putting people near him, and they really did make it work with putting people near him, and he was able to see and watch things unfold and really take his hands off this time around, while in the first season he really had a lot to do and he was really active. So we got 7 wins, 1 loss, and a tie. That is a hell of a winning season for a 9-episode show, and so I really liked it. I thought it was great. My little nitpicks on a few episodes aside, I thought it was a really strong season, and I would recommend What If to anybody who likes anything animated or anybody who likes anything that's Marvel. It's great. It's great stuff. Let me know what your thoughts about it are in the comment section. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, go watch something good.